Let's start with prayer. Sitting comfortably. Just drop your eyelids, closing the eyes. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly open the eyes. And namaste once again, everyone. So first of all, welcome, a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Yogaarthi and Koham School of Yoga. And also accept our greetings on the occasion of the 73rd Republic Day of India. So welcome one more time. Okay. So this is our first session of this yoga study club, and we have named it Yogaarthi. So as we all know the term or the word Vidyarthi, right? So which means that person who aspires Vidya or knowledge. So on similar lines, Yogaarthi is for those who are aspiring to receive knowledge about yoga. So that is why this club, Yogaarthi, and it is going to be a study club where all of us who are deeply interested in getting to know this ancient yogic science and all of its aspects, known, unknown. So this is about exploring and studying it together. And the idea is to invite people who are experts in various areas and aspects of yoga. So this Yogaarthi is an initiative by Koham School of Yoga. Koham School of Yoga is based in Pune, and it is an institute, very new and young institute, which is the aim of this institute is to provide authentic knowledge in the field of yogic science. So currently we are offering a diploma, 1-year diploma in yoga, and also masters in Yoga Shastra, which is 2 years, 4 semesters, masters in Yoga Shastra. And both of these courses are affiliated to the Kavi Kulguru Kalidas Sanskrit Vidyapit Ramtek. And going ahead, we plan to offer more and more avenues of education in this field of yoga and also ancient Indic wisdom. We are also coming up with our first ever independent certification of Koham School of Yoga, which is the Meditation and Pranayam Teacher Training course, which we will start in the first week of February. So Koham School of Yoga is the promoters of Koham School of Yoga is me, myself, Sucheta Kadethankar, and also Sushma Kale. Ma'am, if you can unmute yourself and yeah.
Yes, this is Sushma Kale, and we together have started taking initiative and started working for us basically, and it will improve our knowledge and we just trying to become a mediator between very knowledgeable people like Sir, and many people are there, but Sir is he's a lamp for us. And students, those who are undergoing with our courses and those who were with us from many years. So that is this. Yeah.
So yes, thank you, ma'am. So that is why Yogaarthi, and Yogaarthi is a non-profit, not-for-profit initiative by Combs School of Yoga, and that is why we have decided not to keep any membership fee as such for this initiative or this study club. But as we keep on organizing different activities and have different initiatives, we'll figure out if we want to keep a nominal fee, but that is just going to be to just cover the cost of that event. Otherwise, this is a completely not-for-profit initiative by Combs School of Yoga. So again, a very, very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining this club. And we hope that we all study together, like the prayer that I recited, Sahana Vavatu. And we wish that our journey together is fulfilling and satisfying. So I will request Sushma ma'am now to introduce Agashe sir to all of us, and then Agashe sir can take over. Thank you. Unmute.
Thank you, Sucheta, for starting our Yogaarthi's first session with the prayer of your beautiful voice, and with the small introduction of Yogaarthi and the objectives of Yogaarthi, basically. Now I am here to introduce Agashe sir, and first of all, very good evening to everyone, and it's really my pleasure and privilege for me to introduce a speaker for this session, who is going to give a talk on about Ashtanga Yoga and its applicability for our day-to-day life. So please join me in welcoming my guru, my teacher, Dr. Shriram Agashe, with small introduction of Sir. I think Sir's introduction is not required basically for this whole group. Many of, I think maximum, and all the students, all the people he present here, they know Agashe sir, and all the words coming from my mouth and all the teachers' mouth, these words are given by sir only to us. But still, as a formality, I would like to introduce sir here. Sir has done his BSc in chemistry, and he was delivering lectures in different institutions as a professor in chemistry as well. Then in yoga, he did his diploma, that is yoga education diploma, from Kaivaladham, Lonavala, and his PhD from Mumbai University in philosophy department. Then from 20 years, from year 1971 till 1991, he's pursuing his delivering his service and the mission-oriented services to Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari. He worked as an educational officer for Vivekananda Kendra in Arunachal Pradesh, in Hyderabad, in Ajmer, Kashmir, in many of the cities. Then he joined as a joint secretary for Vivekananda Yoga Research Foundation, Bangalore, which is now it is known as Vyasa, S. Vyasa. Then there he has planned, he has conducted, and he has designed many courses for yoga teachers, yoga training, and yoga therapy as well. He has visited many countries like Japan, UK, USA, Singapore, Portugal, for delivering yoga courses for the selected groups. He has done his PhD from Mumbai University in the title of Meditative Techniques and Their Metaphysical Foundations. He has presented many papers related to his research work. He worked as a joint editor of Marathi magazine Viveka Vichara, which is published by Vivekananda Kendra, Pune. He now in 2018, he has authored a book, Patanjali Yoga Darshan, which is published by Vivekananda Kendra itself. And many of the students who are pursuing their degree and master degree from yoga, they are using this book as a textbook. And it is basically a textbook for a life, which I understand, because I used to open any page of that book and read at any time of the day. He's working with the KJ Somaiya college, KJ Somaiya, this yoga academy from 1991 to 2008, and he was an honorary director for KJ Somaiya Yoga Academy. And he was guide for 5 students, those who have successfully completed their PhD under him from 2016 to 2019. And he is delivering different lectures in the topics of major Upanishads, then Yoga Vasishta, Bhagavad Gita, Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Aurobindo. Then for different modern thinkers like Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and all. He has received Yoga Mitra Award from Yoga Vidya Niketan in 2020, this last year only. Initially, sir was situated in Dombivli, but now he's shifted to Thane. I also stay in Thane, so he's very near one physically as well as always mentally for me personally. So thank you so much, sir, giving your valuable time here for the opening of Yogaarthi Club. And I again welcome Dr. Agashe for delivering his speech on this session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
तुम्ही अनम्यूट करू शकता. I request you, Dr. Agashe sir, to start.
Okay. So we shall start with prayer to the great sage Patanjali. And all of you, if you know, you can chant along with me as well. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaidhyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. So at the outset, I thank Koham School of Yoga and congratulate them for starting this Yogaarthi, the yoga study club, which is going to discuss many things regarding yoga, and I am quite happy it's coming up in Pune, and many people are going to get benefited, and they are all yogaarthis. Okay, and so it will be very successful work. I wish them all success. And today, on a very auspicious day, this club has started. That is Prajasattak Din, our Republic Day, and wish you all the best for the Republic Day as well. So with that little bit of thing, we come to the topic which has been given to me today as to how Patanjali Yoga is useful in day-to-day life, in daily life. That is the topic which we are going to discuss. And you know, our life, it depends on our mind. You know, as our mind is, so our life is. That is what even the Yoga Vasishta says the same thing, that everybody produces his own word. Hmm. The word is nothing but projection of your mind. हमारा मन हमारा जगत प्रकट करता है. आपल्या मनातूनच आपलं जग प्रकट होत असतं असं नाही म्हटलं जातं. आणि जसं आपलं मन असेल तसं आपलं जग असतं, तसे आपली अनुभूती असते. And I remember the first few lines which are there in Dhammapada, the great Gautam Buddha, in his Dhammapada, the Buddhist canon, there are very wonderful lines to start with. And it says that mind precedes all phenomena. Mind matters most. Everything is mind made. If with pure mind, if with impure mind, we perform an act of speech or body, misery follows us like the cart wheel that follows the foot of draught animal. Very beautifully said. Again it says, mind precedes all phenomena. Mind matters most. Everything is mind made. If with pure mind we perform an act of speech or body, happiness follows us like the shadow that never departs. Now, this beautiful quotation from Dhammapada tells us that our experiences in life depend upon our mind. If the mind is pure, life is full of happiness. Like the shadow, happiness never departs from our life. On the contrary, if we go with impure mind, if we perform an act of speech or body with impure mind, misery follows us like the cart wheel that follows the foot of draught animal. You know, the animal which is tied to the cart, he goes and exactly behind him, the cart wheel goes on and on. Like that, the misery will follow us without fail if we perform any act of speech or body with impure mind. If we perform the act with the pure mind, happiness will follow us. So that is the importance of mind in our life. And according to Patanjali, what is pure mind and what is impure mind? Patanjali says, mind with vrittis is impure mind. Mind without vrittis is pure mind. Lesser the vrittis, purer the mind. जितक्या वृत्ती कमी असतील मनामध्ये, जितकं मन शांत असेल तितकं मन शुद्ध असेल. जितक्या वृत्ती जास्त तितकं मन अशुद्ध, आणि जितकं मन अशुद्ध तितकं दुःख जास्त. So those are the equations which are given. Those are the formulae that are given. That is why we have to purify the mind. You know. So that is why Patanjali defines yoga as chitta vritti nirodha. You know, if all those modifications of mind, if they are controlled completely, if the mind is perfectly silent mind, then you will be always happy. You will have no problems in life. You become master of the mind. So all the life actually depends upon whether mind is your master or you are the master of mind. तुम्ही मनाचे दास आहात का मन तुमचा दास आहे, याच्यावर तुमचे आयुष्य अवलंबून असतं. If you are the master of the mind, then life is really beautiful. Mind becomes only instrument. You can use the mind the way you like. पण बरेचसे आपण मनाचे दास असतो. मनाचे दास असतो म्हणजे काय, जे मनात येईल ते करत असतो. We can't control our mind. Whatever mind says we do in life. And therefore, all sorts of miseries, all sorts of tensions, all sorts of stresses, they come to us. That is why Patanjali says that if we actually have that chitta vritti nirodha, we know ourselves. That is the meaning of koham. A beautiful name has been given to this study circle, koham study circle. It is continuous investigation into who am I, koham. मी कोण आहे याचा शोध घेणं हाच तर खरा योग आहे. मी कोण आहे याचा शोध घेणं हाच खरा योग आहे. आणि पतंजली म्हणतात तुम्ही कोण आहे हे तेव्हा तुम्हाला कळेल जेव्हा मन शांत होईल, जेव्हा चित्तवृत्तीचा निरोध होईल. सो when there is complete cessation of modifications of chitta, tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Then the seer, the purusha, is established in his natural state. तेव्हा मी कोण आहे याचं भान आपल्याला होतं. वृत्ती सारूप्यम इतरत्र. Otherwise, we are continuously identifying ourselves with the vrittis, chitta vrittis. जी वृत्ती माझ्या मनात असते तीच मी असतो. ती वृत्ती जर सुखमय असेल तर मी सुखी असतो, ती वृत्ती दुःखाची असेल तर मी दुःखी असतो. So sukha, dukkha, all our experiences are nothing but modifications of mind, our chitta vrittis. Okay. So how to purify this mind? That is all yoga about. की तुम्ही मन शुद्ध कसं करू शकता, तुम्ही मनाला आपल्या नियंत्रणात कसं आणू शकता, याचं सायन्स, याचं शास्त्र म्हणजे योगशास्त्र आहे असं आपण बघितलं. नाऊ let us come to the today's topic about what are all those things which we can use in day-to-day life, because intense spiritual practice for many of us, it is not possible to withdraw from the world, to go to the forest, to go to the Himalayas, to sit in the cave and intensely practice samadhi and other things which will finally lead to liberation. That is the final aim of yoga, liberation, kaivalya. That is the final aim of yoga. But we, as it stands right now, we who are staying in this world, we, the people who lead a peculiar kind of life, the lifestyle which is very well known as sedentary lifestyle, not much of a work at the physical level, but lot of work at the mental level, and that type of, the mind is running very fast, the body functions are slow. That is called a sedentary lifestyle, and therefore we suffer from many of the diseases, and particularly the psychosomatic diseases. We all know about it. Okay, so at 5 different levels or 4 different levels, we are going to discuss the thing today. So what are those things in yoga which you must be acquainted with for those people who are suffering from different diseases? That is yoga for patients. What are those things in yoga for common man who is having day-to-day life, busy life? He is preparing himself for his work. Early morning he will get up and prepare for his work, take bath and everything hurriedly, and take breakfast and rush for the office, sit there for 7-8 hours. It takes about 1 hour for reaching the office, coming back another hour, and he is very tired. He has not done any physical work, but lot of tension, stresses in the office, we all know about it. And then he comes, he sits in front of TV, he watches the TV, and then goes to sleep. And Saturdays, Sundays with family, he goes for some sort of entertainment if it is possible. And because nowadays, of course, that also is not so much possible because of the corona, because of the restrictions and all that, theaters, everything is clubs may not be open everywhere, but he tries to have some sort of entertainment, and that is how it goes on and on and on, you know. Now, for such people, obviously, yoga is very useful, because if the lifestyle is sedentary, if there nothing is there at the physical level, hmm, the body will get deteriorated very easily if you do not take care of your physical health and mental health, you know. So all of us know about it. So that is why practice of asanas, practice of pranayama every day is very much necessary for everybody, at least for about an hour or half an hour in the morning or in the evening at suitable time. You should really do asanas, you should do pranayama in order to keep the body healthy, which is the first object. You know, if the body is healthy, if you are doing little bit of if not traditional pranayama, at least breathing exercises, you will have lot of control over the tensions. You will be able to face the tensions and stresses which naturally develop even for a most common person, you know. And many of the things, though they are not in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, many of the things are extremely useful even today's circumstances. I will tell you something which came to my knowledge incidentally. Uh, Even Jalaneti and Sutraneti nowadays are very important to prevent corona. You know, that was the research which was done in Pune only, the in Dinanath Hospital. Many of the doctors, right in the beginning, they gave this Jalaneti to many of the, even the doctors themselves, they were doing Jalaneti, and they found that those who do it regularly develop some sort of uh, capacity to resist corona attack and all that. So it will be very helpful. All those kriyas, they are very helpful even in today's peculiar circumstances where we are suffering from corona and such other diseases. So these are the direct benefits which are there for the most common person. And if we are patient because of the sedentary lifestyle and because of the tensions and stresses which we have, we know that many of the people ज्यांची गतिशील जीवन पद्धती आहे, लाईफ इज व्हेरी फास्ट, मेंटली दे आर having fast life, physically they are not really active. Fast mind, slow body, that is sedentary lifestyle all about. म्हणजे मन सतत धावत असतं, परंतु शरीराला मात्र तसे कष्ट नाही आहेत, शारीरिक कष्ट अतिशय कमी आहेत. अशा प्रकारची जी जीवन पद्धती, त्याला सिडेंटरी लाईफस्टाईल असं म्हणतात. आणि आजकालचं वैद्यक शास्त्र असं सांगतं की अशा लोकांना जास्तीत जास्त रक्तचाप, दमा, मधुमेह अशा प्रकारचे रोग होतात. सो दे सफर फ्रॉम हायपरटेन्शन, फ्रॉम डायबिटीस, from the asthma, from joint pains, from insomnia. Those who are having very fast life, one of the most dreadful diseases in the Western countries is insomnia, sleep deprivation. People are not able to sleep. Why? Because of the where, you know, if you want to enter into sleep, you should be able to break the loop of thinking. So when you are very busy life, when you have lots of problems in the office, lots of problems in the house, and continuous thought process is going on, when you go to bed, this thought process goes on and on and on, and you are not able to enter into sleep. You are not able to break down the loop of thinking. You are not able to break down the thought process, and therefore you can't enter into sleep. And that is why many of the people, the executives and typical modern man, and that is why sleep deprivation or insomnia is prevalent in the so-called advanced countries. Hmm. I was told that in USA, 25% of the people cannot sleep without taking sleeping pills. झोपेच्या गोळ्या घेतल्याशिवाय अमेरिकेमध्ये असं म्हटलं होतं की कोणत्याही 4 अमेरिकांपैकी एक तरी कमीत कमी झोपेच्या गोळ्या घेऊनच झोपतो. It is not possible to enter into sleep at all. You know why? Because of the fastness of the life. So those are the things which can be easily controlled through yoga. Even shavasana in yoga, or many of the relaxation techniques which we have in yoga, the way in which asanas are performed according to Patanjali yoga, not like exercises, but sthira sukham asanam with prayatna shaithilya and ananta samapatti. If we perform the asanas, then lot of relaxation comes. So these are the things which can be very easily controlled by doing asanas in a proper way, doing pranayama, doing kriyas, and all that. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says that there are 9 obstacles in the path of yoga, and there are the 9 obstacles in any goal. When you are pursuing any goal, these 9 obstacles will be there. They are known as चित्त विक्षेपाज. म्हणजे आपल्या योग साधनेमध्ये जे अडथळे येतात त्याला चित्त विक्षेप असं म्हटलं जातं. आणि हे सगळ्यांकरताच असतात खरं म्हणजे. व्याधी, स्त्यान, संशय, प्रमाद, आलस्य, अविरती, भ्रांती दर्शन, अलब्ध भूमिकत्व, अनवस्थितत्व, चित्त विक्षेपाः ते अंतरायाः. That is what Patanjali says. The life has become miserable. The life has become full of tensions and stresses because of this chitta vikshepa. The distraction of chitta is known as chitta vikshepa. And the very first chitta vikshepa is vyadhi, disease. Sthyan, the dullness of the mind, the inertia of the mind. Sthyan. Samshaya, we have doubts about. This is another thing which, and nowadays this samshaya has increased. That even if people are coming to your house, you may doubt whether they are the corona positive. If I go to some people's house, I am afraid actually to meet people, to interact with the people and all that. Nowadays, particularly this samshaya, that whether the person there, and rightly so. So samshaya, doubt. And then we have doubt about this. Doubt is one of the things which creates lot of tensions and stresses. Doubt about so many things. All kinds of samshaya we have. Even if we are working in the office, sitting in our own chair, and some 4 or 5 people are just gossiping somewhere, we have a doubt that whether they are planning against me. माझ्या विरुद्ध काहीतरी कट तर चाललेलं नाही ना, अशा प्रकारचा संशय मनात येतो. सो संशय, प्रमाद, केअरलेसनेस. प्रमाद इज केअरलेसनेस, निष्काळजीपणा. That pramada can be there while performing the yoga sadhana also. You want to take part in the competition and therefore you stretch the body more than required and have a muscle pull, that is pramada. Or while doing pranayamic practice, you start holding the breath without purifying the nadis, that is pramada, and it will be very costly pramada. हा जो निष्काळजीपणा आहे योग साधना करताना, so many times it has been told in Hatayog Pradipika and many of the texts on yoga that as far as the asana or the physical part of yoga is concerned, if you make mistakes, it will not be very costly that way. At the most there should be some muscle pull, some pain somewhere. It will go after some time. That is not correct actually. That is why prayatna shaithilya is required very much. Ananta samapatti is also required. Patanjali says The asanas are not only performed physically but also mentally. That is the beauty of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. They are not only physical practices. If the mind is not involved, Patanjali will not call it asana at all. Along with the body, awareness of the body, the tensions and the stresses in the body, and actually asana practice also takes to Ananta Samapatti, to infinite awareness. There can be expansion of awareness during asanas. Very beautifully, Patanjali actually has said about the Ananta Samapatti during asana, that you become aware of the physical body first, the tensions and stresses that are there in the muscles first. While doing, if we want to do asanas in day-to-day life, even if you do 5-6 asanas, it is okay. Okay, but do it in Patanjali's way and see the difference. What do we mean by doing it in Patanjali's way? By focusing on the changes that are taking place within the body while performing the asanas. आपल्या शरीरात जे बदल होतात त्या बदलांचं निरीक्षण करीत करीत जर आपण आसनं केली तर त्याचा फायदा तुम्हाला विचार सुद्धा करता येणार नाही इतका त्याचा फायदा होतो. कारण मग चेतनेचा विस्तार होत जातो. Expansion of awareness. So first you are aware only of the muscles that are stretched or that are contracted. In every asana, some muscles will be contracted, some muscles will be stretched. So if I'm bending forward, the back muscles will be stretched. I can very easily become aware of the muscles that are stretched from the back side. माझ्या पाठीचे स्नायू ज्याच्यामध्ये तणाव आलेला आहे त्याच्या प्रती मी सहज सजग होऊ शकतो. आणि मग आसनाच्या अंतिम स्थितीमध्ये जर मी रिलॅक्स केले मसल तर मला आणखीन सूक्ष्म स्तरावर होणारे बदल सुद्धा कळू शकतात. सो इफ आय एम बेंडिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर इन्स्टन्स and reach Padhastasana final position, whichever is my final position, where I can be steady and comfortable. That is my final position. And there, if I relax, I can feel the change of blood pressure. I can feel easily that blood is coming to the brain side when I am bending forward. And when I come back, I can feel the flow of blood going back from the brain. I can feel the change in blood circulation, which is subtler kind of awareness. We don't have time now, but this is how the yoga teaches us to go from gross to subtle to still subtle. You know, if you are aware, if you are performing asanas with awareness, you can even feel the nerve impulses that are passing through the spinal column when you are doing the asanas. एक प्रकारच्या प्रत्येक आसनामध्ये आपल्या मेरुदंडातून संवेदना जात असतात. त्या संवेदनांच्या प्रति सजग होणं ही अतिशय स्थूल, अतिशय सूक्ष्म स्तरावरची सजगता आहे. Particularly in Paschimottanasana, you can very easily feel the nerve impulses passing through the spinal column. मेरुदंडातून जाणाऱ्या संवेदना. उष्ट्रासनामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्हाला मेरुदंडातून जाणाऱ्या संवेदना जाणवू शकतात. त्या जर जाणवल्या तर तुमची सजगता ही स्थूलाकडून सूक्ष्माकडे जात आहे असं तुम्हाला आढळून येईल. And then further Patanjali says that you can even feel the sound vibrations in the asana. There is particular way in which the asanas are performed. So when you are bending forward, if you chant makara, you can feel the vibrations of makara passing through the body. If you are bending backward, chant akara, feel the vibrations. And in shavasana also, you feel the vibrations of akar, ukar, makar as you relax the different portions of the body. So in part by part relaxation, when you rotate your consciousness throughout the body, you can feel the sound vibrations. You can feel the body apartness in Shavasana. You can feel as if you have dissociated yourself with the body, and that is how Ananta Samapatti also becomes possible. You can feel that your consciousness has become infinite consciousness. So this is something which you can perform even for half an hour in day-to-day practice. Don't put on TV or don't put on your radio and perform asanas. Many of the people, they do asanas or they do some exercise or something, but they put on some music and they think and they forget also whether which asana they have done and which is the next asana to be done. Asana is a sadhana which has been told by Patanjali to, to really have more and more awareness of our own self, to go from gross to subtle awareness, to expand awareness. You know, in each of the yoga sadhana, expansion of awareness is the most important thing, you know, that is done. So whether you are performing asanas, whether you are performing pranayama, your attention, please do not do it mechanically. यांत्रिक पद्धतीने आसनं करायची नाहीत, की आत्ता कोणचं आसन केलं होतं, रेडिओ लावून म्युझिक लावून त्याच्यावर. नॉट लाईक दॅट. दॅट इज नॉट पतंजलीज वे ऑफ डुईंग द आसनाज अँड प्राणायाम. पतंजली से लुक विदिन. तुमच्या आतमध्ये जे बदल होत आहेत त्या बदलांप्रती सजग होत होत जर तुम्ही आसनं केलीत तर तुम्हाला खूप खूप फायदा होतो त्याचा. अनेक स्तरांवर फायदा होतो. The mind becomes calm and quiet. Even if you do it for half an hour, you can see the difference. Easily you can see the difference. तर व्याधी, आपण चित्त विक्षेपांविषयी बोलत होतो. इफ यू वॉन्ट टू रिअली करेक्ट डिफरंट काइंड्स ऑफ डिसीजेस, व्याधी, देन स्त्यान, संशय, प्रमाद, आलस्य. One of the things which is something which we know about, you know, आलस्यम ही मनुष्याणाम शरीरस्थो महारिपुः. सगळ्यात मोठा शत्रू जर आपला कुठचा असेल, लेझीनेस. You know, we are not regular in the practice. One of the things which is important in yoga, suppose if we are doing only half an hour, be regular for half an hour. Do not skip it. Today it is Sunday, I don't want to get up. And nowadays, of course, is the winter season, the only season where you don't like to come out of your blanket and do your asanas and all that. Do not miss it at any cost. व्रत घेतल्यासारखं अर्धा तास का होईना ते केलंच पाहिजे. म्हणजे देयर इज नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज इन दॅट, ॲटलीस्ट फॉर हाफ एन अवर. ओके. सो लेझीनेस, आलस्य, अविरती, too much of attachment to the thing, the whole आसक्ती. खरं म्हणजे आपल्या दुःखाचं कारण आसक्तीच आहे. अनेक गोष्टींविषयी आसक्ती. आणि नेहमी आसक्तीविषयी असं म्हटलं होतं, आसक्ती म्हणजे काय? वो आसक्ती है जा नहीं सकती. आसक्ती क्या है? आसक्ती है जा नहीं सकती. So we are attached to so many things, and therefore our thoughts are guided by our attachments. It is impossible. If we have so many attachments, it is impossible to silence the mind. The moment you sit for meditation, thought starts coming. And if you want to know, if you write diary, what sort of thoughts are occupying your mind? If you maintain a diary, you will find all the thoughts, maximum thoughts are about those things to which we are attached. So if you are attached to the children, most of the time you will be thinking about children, whether they are studying, what will be their future, this and that, and so many. If you are attached to money, most of the thoughts will be regarding money. पैसा कसा वाचवता येईल, पैसा कसा वाढवता येईल, कशामध्ये मी पैसा गुंतवू. If those are because of the attachment to money, most of the thoughts will be about money. So attachments actually give rise to the thoughts in the mind. That is why detachment is abhyasa vairagya abhyam tannirodha. चित्तवृत्तीचा निरोध करण्याकरता अभ्यास हा जितका महत्वाचा आहे तितकंच महत्वाचं वैराग्य आहे. अविरती, डिटॅचमेंट. देन भ्रांती दर्शन, अलब्ध भूमिकत्व, अनवस्थितत्व, हे सगळे चित्तविक्षेप. व्याधिस्त्यान, संशय, प्रमाद, आलस्य, अविरती, भ्रांती दर्शन. We do a yoga for some time and we feel, oh, in meditation I have started seeing light in front of me, and we are interested in telling about it to others, की मला ध्यानामध्ये अपूर्व अनुभव येत आहेत. तुला येतात का? तुला नाही येत? मग कसला तू योग करतो? मला येत आहेत. नाउ व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग इन, दॅट इज वाय दे से, अशा प्रकारच्या अनुभूती एक तर दुसऱ्याला सांगायच्या नसतात. का? कारण त्याच्यामध्ये एक प्रकारे अहंकाराची वृद्धी होते. आपल्याला असं वाटायला लागतं की मी आता खरा म्हणजे योगी झालेलो आहे आणि बाकी सगळे लोक आपापल्या, in yoga, this is the most dangerous thing. If you start thinking that you are yoga sadhaka and all others, including the other members of your family, they are leading ordinary life. They are कुछ भी नहीं है, उनको कुछ मालूम ही नहीं है, मैं योग करता हूँ. Now this is also a kind of ego which you can develop. From that also भ्रांति दर्शन, ये बहुत बड़ी भ्रांति है कि मुझे कुछ योग सिद्धि प्राप्त हुई है, मैं कुछ ध्यान मेरा अच्छा लग. सो भ्रांति, अलब्ध भूमिकत्व. द अदर काइंड ऑफ थिंग इज that you are practicing meditation for so many days and you don't really feel that you, even for a second, the mind doesn't become calm and quiet. की तुम्ही एक वर्षभर जवळजवळ प्रॅक्टिस करताय ध्यानाची, एकदाही 1 मिनिट सुद्धा तुम्हाला ध्यानावस्थेची अनुभूती येत नाही. अलब्ध भूमिकत्व. यू डोंट रीच दॅट स्टेट ऑफ मेडिटेशन at all, and then you think that either there is nothing like meditation and all that, or I am not eligible for it. मी त्याच्याकरता लायकच नाहीये, आणि मला काय साधणार नाही, and we leave the practice. अनवस्थितत्व. Sometimes you touch that state of silence but immediately drop away from it. Anavasthitatva, instability. You are not able to stay in the state of silence. So these are the 9 obstacles on the path of yoga. They are called as chitta vikshepas, and we have to overcome them. And we have to, how will, if we become aware of the chitta vikshepas, vyadhi, we become immediately vyadhi sthana. These are the things which we become very easily aware of this, and then we can take care of this, we can remove this. Now Patanjali says, along with the chitta vikshepas, there are vikshepa saha bhuvaha, the 4 concomitants of chitta vikshepas, and they are dukkha, daurmanasya, angame jayatva, shwasa prashwasa. Whenever the mind is distracted, there are 4 symptoms which can be seen outside. What are they? Dukkha, daurmanasya. At the mental level, we have pain, we have dejection, we have depression. So pain and depression at the mental level. Angamejatva, tremors in the body. शरीरामध्ये कंपन होणं, tremors in the body. And shwasa prashwasa, irregular breathing, haphazard breathing, shallow breathing. How beautifully Patanjali at that time, when there were no microscopes or there were no instruments to study your breathing and all that, at that time he knew everything. That whenever there is distraction in the mind, मनामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचं विक्षेप आला की त्याचे 4 प्रकारचे परिणाम होतात असं पतंजलींनी सांगितलेलं आहे. 2 मानसिक स्तरावर, दुःख आणि दौर्मनस्य. शारीरिक स्तरावर कंपनांचा अनुभव, देर आर व्हायब्रेशन्स इन द बॉडी, देर आर ट्रेमॉर्स इन द बॉडी, अंगमे जयत्व. आणि श्वास प्रश्वास, the breathing becomes haphazard, the breathing becomes shallow, the breathing becomes irregular, And these are the things which you should be studying, you know. If you become aware of your breath, you will find that every time there is a distraction, every time when you have anger, every time when you have depression, every time when you have, say, fear, watch your breathing. Breathing becomes shallow, breathing becomes haphazard, breathing becomes irregular. जेव्हा जेव्हा आपल्या मनामध्ये चित्तवृत्तींचा गोंधळ सुरू होतो आणि खास करून ज्याला भावनांचा उद्रेक जेव्हा जेव्हा होतो, प्रचंड आपल्याला जर राग आला, त्यावेळी तुमचं श्वासन कसं चालू आहे ते बघा. श्वसन अतिशय जलद अशा प्रकारे श्वसन चालू असेल, इट विल बी, हे जे श्वसन असेल ते त्याला इरेग्युलर असं म्हणतात, की इट इज नॉट स्मूथ इनहेलेशन स्मूथ एक्झलेशन एनिमोर. जशी काय धाप लागावी अशा प्रकारे श्वसन. इवन इन फिअर ऑल्सो, इफ यू आर अफ्रेड ऑफ समथिंग टेरिबली, the first thing is, now fear is a वृत्ती ऑफ माइंड. मनामध्ये तुम्हाला भीती वाटत असते, परंतु त्याचा श्वसनावर परिणाम होत असतो असं तुम्हाला दिसून येईल. So if you have seen a horror film in the night, you should not actually do that. But if you have done that and you are alone in the house, the film is over at around, or the light goes, when you are watching the film, the light goes, everything is dark, and you look outside from the window, and you feel as if there is somebody standing outside, and you have the fear, and your breathing is immediately affected. You can see the haphazard, shallow, irregular breathing so instantaneously when you are gripped with fear. Again, so fear, anger, jealousy, all those emotional disturbances, they affect our breathing very much. If we are able to correct the breathing at that time, you are able to correct your anger, you are able to correct your fear and all that. This is what yoga is telling. Immediately go back. These are the techniques which are to be used, which are to be seen. If you are full of anxiety, worry, tension, you know, anxiety, one of the things in anxiety is very fast thinking. जेव्हा तुम्हाला चिंता असते, कोणत्याही प्रकारची चिंता असते, चिंतातूर मन झालेलं असतं, तेव्हा मन अक्षरशः धावत असतं. आपण म्हणतो ना मराठीमध्ये, मन चिंती ते वैरी न चिंती, की मन जितक्या जोरात धावताना तितकं वैरी न चिंती. अँड बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट the thoughts are multiplying very fast, fastness of the mind. Now you want to come out of it. तुम्हाला पण कळत असतं की ही जी चिंता आहे ना, ती खरी म्हणजे बरोबर नाही. समजा तुमचा मुलगा कुठेतरी परदेशामध्ये आहे आणि तो आजारी आहे आणि असं तुम्हाला कळलं आणि त्याच्यामुळे चिंता आली. साहजिक आहे चिंता होणं. परंतु यू शुड कन्व्हिन्स युअरसेल्फ दॅट एनी अमाउंट ऑफ वरिंग हिअर इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प हिम. आणि तुम्हाला पण हे कळत असतं की अशा प्रकारची जी चिंता आहे ना, की ज्याचा काही उपयोग नाहीये, ही मला मनातून काढून टाकायची, नकोय, याचा काही उपयोग नाहीये. परंतु तेच तेच विचार मनात, असं झालं तर काय होईल, तो बरा होईल की नाही, हाऊ आय शॅल ओव्हरकम. नाउ व्हॉट योगा इज सेइंग, ॲट दॅट टाइम just have few rounds of slow inhalation, slow exhalations. Calm down your breath and the mind calms down. Chale vate chalam chittam. Nischale nischalam bhavet. Yogi sthanutvam apnoti tato vayum nirodhayet. You can control the mind by controlling the breath. You know, so these are the things which are to be seen. It is not something which is imaginary, which has been told by the yogis, and only thing is, you should be practicing it. You should become aware that this is happening, and you should practice and see for yourself whether all these things are happening and whether you are able to control. So dukkha daurmanasya angama, tremors in the body. Again, we'll see, if you are gripped with fear, not only the breathing changes, But your body shakes. When you are gripped with, your body shakes. If you are angry, there is a shaking in the body. So what Patanjali is telling is, for these four, generally the Bahiranga Yoga Sadhana is better. Dukkha and Daurmanasya, they are overcome by practice of Yamaniyamats. We all know about Yamaniyamats, so I will not discuss about that. So if you practice Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, the thought process, you will be able to silence the mind, and therefore Dukkha and Daurmanasya. If you practice asanas the way Patanjali wants you to do, Prayatna Shaitilya Ananta Samapatti Tato Dvanvan Anavigataha, the pairs of opposites should cancel out each other. That way asanas are to be performed, and not for show, not for competition, not excessive type of stretching the muscles and all that. Then Angamaya dosha will go, and pranayama will take care of shwasa prashwasa. If we are regularly practicing pranayama, then most of our energy level depend upon how we breathe. Many of the people, they are not aware that they are not using the full capacity of the lung at all. So even if you do sectional breathing daily, lot of problems will go if you breathe correctly, fully, to the capacity of the lungs. So use the abdominal breathing, the thoracic breathing, the clavicular breathing, and the yogic breathing, which includes abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. Breathe fully, activate your lungs. Do not have shallow breathing. Now, this is something which you can do anywhere. Even in the office also, for some time, you can sit and have few long breaths. Nothing prevents you from that. So actually the Bahiranga Yoga Sadhana of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam can overcome these four defects: Dukkha, Daurmanasya, Angamejayatva, and Shwasa Prashwasa. Now, in addition to that, the daily tensions and stresses which each of us develops, so many kinds of tension. I did not discuss about how the tension develop, because that is our experience all the time. की तणाव हे सगळ्यांनाच असतात. आपल्या रिलेशनशिप मध्ये तणाव निर्माण होतात, आपल्या कामामुळे तणाव निर्माण होतात, ऑफिसमध्ये जे काही घडत असतात त्यातून तणाव निर्माण होतात, शेजाराशी भांडण होतं त्याच्यातून तणाव निर्माण होतात. आणि सध्या तर सगळीकडे तणावजन्य परिस्थिती आहेच, कोरोनामुळे आहे, बऱ्याच गोष्टीमुळे आहे. सो हाऊ टू ओव्हरकम दोज? For that, Kriya Yoga Sadhana has been given in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Tapaswadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana आणि Kriya Yoga. अतिशय सुंदर अशी साधना ही सांगितलेली आहे. ही सगळ्यांकरता साधना आहे. तपस means actually purification. Whatever purifies your body, your mind and senses is known as tapas. Kayendriya Shuddhi Tapasaha. Kayendriya Shuddhi. So daily practice of asanas, daily walking, if not anything, regular. But that regularity is the most important. Whatever you are doing, maybe for half an hour, maybe for 1 hour, do it very regularly. That becomes tapas. And of course, having regularity in the food, sometimes doing some sort of fasting, sometimes having the purificatory processes like Jalaneti, Sutraneti, Dhauti. Kapalbhati is to be practiced along with Jalaneti, Kapalbhati is also a must. And nowadays, I will particularly recommend it in the Corona time. Jalaneti and Kapalbhati are really, really excellent things for preventing Corona attack, and prevention is better than cure. That is what the medicine also says. So, tapas, then swadhyaya. I am very happy that this Koham study circle has started, so that swadhyaya, Swadhyaya means study of the scriptures, study of the Upanishads, study of the Yoga Sutras. That study leads to self-analysis. That study should lead to self-analysis. Then only it becomes Swadhyaya, Swa-adhyaya, Atma-parikshan. स्वाध्यायाचा एक अर्थ आत्मपरीक्षण आहे. स्वाध्याय अर्थातच गीतेचं अध्ययन करणं, उपनिषदांचं अध्ययन, नंतर योगसूत्रांचं अध्ययन, ऑल द स्क्रिप्चरल स्टडीज, ऑफकोर्स स्वाध्याय. अशा आत्ता पण स्वाध्यायच करतोय ऍक्च्युअली. when we are listening to some lectures on this, the study circle which you have formed, all this is type of swadhyay. But then we should absorb it and we should be able to apply it. जे जे काही आपण ऐकत असतो, जे जे काही आपण वाचत असतो, ते आपल्या आयुष्यामध्ये आपल्याला त्याचा उपयोग करता आला पाहिजे, तरच तो खरा स्वाध्याय होतो. आपण आत्मनिरीक्षण, आत्मपरीक्षण करायला की माझा स्वभाव कसा आहे, की मला खरोखरच लगेच राग येतो का, मी नर्व्हस टाईप ऑफ पर्सन आहे का, की जरा काही झालं की मला काळजी लागते का, आणि एकदा काळजी लागली की ती जातच नाही असं होतं का. दिस इज रियल स्वाध्याय. यू आर अनालायझिंग युअर सेल्फ, यू आर अनालायझिंग युअर ओन बिहेवियर, यू आर लुकिंग ॲट युअर सेल्फ, युअर माइंड. This is very helpful. This very looking, this very analysis helps you to correct the things. की अशा प्रकारचे आत्मपरीक्षण केल्यामुळेच आपले बरेचसे दोष, we are not aware of many defects in us. Why? Because we do not do swadhyaya, because we are not observing ourselves. We are observing others. आपण दुसऱ्याला सांगत असतो की अरे तू जरा जळकुटच आहेस, तू जरा काय झालं की तू चिडतोस फार, आणि जरा काय झालं की घाबरतोस. सगळं तुझ्याविषयी, तुझा अभ्यास मी करत असतो, मी माझा अभ्यास करत नाही. दॅट इज अवर ट्रॅजेडी. सो व्हॉट योगा इज टेलिंग इज लुक ॲट युअर सेल्फ, डोंट लुक ॲट अदर्स. लुक ॲट युअर सेल्फ, स्टडी युअर सेल्फ, अँड देन ईश्वर प्रणिधान, surrendering yourself to the higher forces, to God. There are many things in life which you cannot control. Many tensions, many stresses, many situations which are not under your control. There you surrender to God. If you surrender to God, you will, most of the tensions will vanish if you know how to surrender. परमेश्वराप्रती समर्पित अशा प्रकारची जर भाव असेल माणसाचा, खरोखर आतून तो येत असेल, तर सगळ्या प्रकारच्या चिंता, सगळ्या प्रकारचे ताण तणाव नाहीसे होऊ शकतात. अशी ताकद ईश्वर प्रणिधानामध्ये आहे. की यू ऑलवेज फील दॅट गॉड इज देअर, वाय आय शुड बी अफ्रेड ऑफ एनिथिंग. गॉड इज देअर बिहाइंड मी. बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम व्हॉट हॅपन्स, we remember God only when we are in problem. जेव्हा आपल्याला दुःख होत असतं, जेव्हा आपल्याला ताणतणाव असतात, तेव्हाच आपल्याला परमेश्वराची आठवण होते. जेव्हा परीक्षा असते दुसऱ्या दिवशी, त्याच वेळी आपण देवळामध्ये जातो आणि प्रार्थना करतो की मला बाबा पास कर. अँड दॅट ऑल्सो अर्थार्थी टाईप ऑफ भक्ती, की तू जर मला पास केलंस तर मी तुला नारळ देईल, अशा प्रकारची भक्ती. दिस इज नॉट सरेंडर. सरेंडर इज नॉट डिमांडिंग समथिंग फ्रॉम गॉड. सरेंडर इज ओपनिंग युअर हार्ट टू द गॉड, दॅट आय एम नथिंग, यू अलोन, बी माय गाईड. तर तपस्वाध्याय ईश्वर प्रणिधानाने क्रिया योग समाधी भावनार्थ क्लेश तनुकरणार्थश्च, त्याने क्लेश तनुकरण होतं. All those causes of your misery, the basic causes of misery, they attenuate. क्लेश तनुकरणा करता ही साधना फार महत्वाची आहे. आपल्याकडे वेळ कमी आहे, पण काही आणखीन गोष्टी आपल्याला
अजून आहेत, 20 मिनिटं आहेत.
याच्यापासून आपल्याला शिकता येतील. Two more things I will also tell. What is the application of yoga for students, for instance? Not only students, but even for the elders, focusing of the mind, the concentration of the mind is the most important thing. In any walk of life, your success depends upon how much you are able to concentrate. चित्ताची एकाग्रता जितकी जास्त, तितकं तुम्ही ते काम चांगलं करू शकता, तितकी तुम्ही प्रगती करू शकता, हे तर मी सांगायलाच नको. आणि खास करून विद्यार्थ्यांना हे फार महत्वाचं आहे. अँड वन ऑफ द थिंग्स which is most important in yoga is pranayam. प्राणायामाचे जे फायदे पतंजलींनी सांगितलेले आहेत, प्राणायाम साधनेचे, ततक्षीयते प्रकाशावरणम धारणासुच योग्यता मनसा. If we do pranayam correctly, then the mind starts getting focused. If the mind is focused, anything and everything is possible. So that is why pranayama sadhana is very important for increasing the concentration as well as for memory development. So development of memory and concentration, pranayama is one of the best sadhana. If you want to memorize something, if you want to remember, so most of the things in the modern minds for the students is to remember the thing. आजकालची जी आपली शिक्षण पद्धती असते, ते काय खूप चांगलं आहे असं मी म्हणणार नाही, पण अनफॉर्च्युनेटली इट इज सो that the whole portion is to be remembered. So many books, mathematics, science, geography, history, so many topics are there. You have to keep it in your mind and reproduce it at the time of exam. So memory has to be sharp memory for the students. And this memory has three aspects. You registration, imprinting, and ready recall. These are the three aspects of memory. Registration म्हणजे कसं तुम्ही जे काही शिकवलेलं असतं ते कसं तुमच्या मनामध्ये रजिस्टर होतं. हाऊ यू आर टेकिंग इट इनसाइड. दॅट रजिस्ट्रेशन डिपेंड्स अपॉन कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन. जर तुम्ही पुस्तक वाचत असाल, पुस्तक तुमच्या समोर आहे, परंतु मन मात्र इकडे तिकडे धावतंय, तर रजिस्टरच होणार नाही आणि त्याच्यामुळे तुम्हाला ते आठवणार नाही. दॅट इज द प्रॉब्लेम विथ मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल. when they are doing something, when they are studying something, they are sitting, they are reading, but nothing enters inside because the mind is not focused. चित्ताची एकाग्रता नसल्यामुळे जे काही आपण वाचतोय त्याचा ठसा मनावर उमटत नाही. Then imprinting is actually ठसा. Where if you are not able to really understand it, or if that imprint doesn't come in one reading, you can repeat it once, twice, thrice. Repetition. With repetition, imprinting happens. Now imprinting means त्याचा पक्का ठसा मनावर उमटणं, याला इम्प्रिंटिंग असं म्हणतात मेमरीमध्ये. तो ठसा एकदा मनावर उमटला की मग तो जात नाही. परंतु योग्य वेळे रेडी रिकॉल, जेव्हा पाहिजे असतं तेव्हा आठवलं पाहिजे तुम्हाला. So at the time of, there are so many students who really study well, who remember also well. They have solved a question paper in their house, very nicely. Next day when they go to the exam, the same question paper, almost similar questions have come. They should be able to answer it very well. But they say memory failed. At the time of exam, memory failed. Why? Because of the anxieties, worries and tensions. की मला किती मार्क मिळतील, मला मी फर्स्ट येईन की नाही, मला 90+ मिळतील की नाही. या टेन्शनमुळे जी मेमरी सहज यायला पाहिजे होती ती येत नाही. सो देर इज नो रेडी रिकॉल. जेव्हा पाहिजे तेव्हा आठवत नाही. नुसतं आत असून चालत नाही, जेव्हा पाहिजे तेव्हा आठवत. इफ देर इज ऑपरेशन, the doctor must have very ready reflexes. If there is complication, he should immediately know what is to be done next. He cannot say, now I will go to the library and take the book and find out what is the next step. By that time, the patient will die. So he should instantaneously, he should know which injection is to be given in which process. Instant recall is very much necessary if you want to become successful. For that, relaxation is necessary, you know. So if the doctor is relaxed, if the student is very much relaxed at giving a, then the memory will work, then there will be ready recall of whatever you want. Now all these things come by yogic practices only. The focusing of it and the ready recall through relaxation. So concentration and relaxation, and that is what actually yoga means. Who is a yogi? One who is able to focus at will, one who is able to defocus at will. जो जेव्हा पाहिजे तेव्हा चित्त एकाग्र पण करू शकतो आणि पाहिजे तेव्हा चित्त शांत पण करू शकतो, तो खरा म्हणजे योगी आहे. सो इट इज गुड फॉर दोज, particularly for the students, for the development of memory as well as concentration. Very small yogic practices. Even the practice like Trataka also can increase the concentration if you do it in a particular way. Along with pranayama, Trataka is also a very wonderful technique for increasing memory and concentration. Now, one last point I will say, and then I will stop. And if you have questions, we can have questions and answers. That is about the yoga for executives and professionals and those who have a lot of tensions and stresses in the companies. They are worried about production. One of the things which Patanjali has very nicely told is Pratipaksha Bhavana, which is for all, in fact. Pratipaksha Bhavana, Vitarka Bhavane, Pratipaksha Bhavanam, Vitarka Badhane, Pratipaksha Bhavanam. That is the sutra which Patanjali has given. Vitarka is actually the perverse thoughts, negative thoughts. They are known as Vitarkas. Vitarkaha Himsadayaha. Krutakarita, Anumodita, Krodha, Lobha, Moha Karaka, Tat Pratipaksha Bhavanam. म्हणजे वितर्क म्हणजे कसे असतात की क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, हिंसा आदी विचार, all the negativities, all the emotional disturbances, they are generally known as vitarka. Now most of the people, they are under the spell of this vitarka, and we are so sensitive that if somebody talks ill about others or harsh words to others, immediately we are disturbed. आज तो मेरा मूड नहीं, आज तो काम होगा ही नहीं. He said something, now I can't work. My boss, for no reason, he scolded me today. I can't work now. I hate him. And that hatred remains. So whenever I see boss, the hatred comes, vitarka comes. Whenever I see my enemy, hatred comes, and that affects my efficiency. That affects my efficiency. तर अशा प्रकारचे बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी या वितर्कातून निर्माण होत असतात. म्हणजे वितर्काची बाधा आपल्याला झाली असते, घरात सुद्धा झालेली असते. सासू आणि सुनामध्ये वितर्क. व्हॉट एव्हर दी डॉटर इन लॉ डज, शी सेड नो, दिस इज नॉट द वे. हे असं नाही आपल्याकडे चालत. वितर्क. काही झालं तरी वितर्क. सो घरामध्ये पण तसंच असतं, बाहेर समाजामध्ये पण तसंच अनेक प्रकारचे वितर्क चालू असतात. ओके. आणि पतंजली असं म्हणतात प्रतिपक्ष भावना. प्रतिपक्ष भावना मीन्स अंडरस्टँडिंग द अपोजिट साइड. यू पुट युअर सेल्फ इन टू अदर मॅन शूज अँड अंडरस्टँड इट. आपण फक्त आपल्याच दृष्टिकोनातून विचार करत असतो सगळ्या गोष्टींचा. प्रतिपक्ष भावना म्हणजे having the opposite point of view. Of course, one of the thing is if you are having anger, replace it by peace. That is vitarka. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला खूप राग आलेला असेल, क्रोध आलेला असेल, तर तुम्ही शांत होण्याचा प्रयत्न करणं ही सुद्धा प्रतिपक्ष भावना आहे. पण दुसरा प्रतिपक्ष भावनेचा अर्थ असा आहे की दुसरा असा का वागतोय, दुसऱ्याच्या दृष्टिकोनातून तुम्ही स्वतःकडे पाहण्याचे विचार करा. दुसऱ्याच्या दृष्टिकोनाचा विचार करा. अंडरस्टँड द अदर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू इज ऑल्सो दी प्रतिपक्ष भावना. नाउ दिस विल बी व्हेरी हेल्पफुल in corporate life, in the industries where so many people are working. If there is samanjasya in the different people, then the production will be good. If they are fighting with each other, pulling each other's legs, दुसरा वर जात असेल तर त्याला खाली ओढणं, दुसऱ्याच्या विषयी कुचाळक्या करणं, हे सगळे वितर्काचे प्रकार आहेत. परंतु जर प्रतिपक्ष भावना ही नीट समजावून सांगितली गेली की इफ वी ऑल वर्क टुगेदर, ऑल विल बी बेनिफिटेड, द होल कंपनी विल बी बेनिफिटेड, द होल वर्क विल बी बेनिफिटेड. प्रतिपक्ष भावना ही फार महत्वाची आहे पातंजली योगसूत्रामध्ये. सो पतंजली हॅज गिवन n number of tips which can be used in day-to-day life. Of course, if you go to the forest, if you are in the cave, practice samadhi, then you will be liberated being. There is no doubt. But even as a human being, as ordinary सर्वसामान्य मनुष्य, कितीतरी या पतंजली योगसूत्रामध्ये असं सांगितलेल्या आहेत गोष्टी की ज्या तुम्हाला तुमच्या डे टू डे ऍक्टिव्हिटी मध्ये तुम्हाला त्याचं पालन करता येतं, तुम्हाला त्याच्यापासून प्रचंड फायदा मिळतो. इफ यू स्टार्ट लुकिंग just by taking others' point of view into consideration, lots of things can be corrected, can be done. So anyway, we have 7:15 now, and I will stop here. And if there are questions and if there is time, certainly we can have questions and answers after this. But I will start with my own Shanti mantra, and then I leave it to you.
I think we can have question answers now. So if you have any question, what you can do is, instead of unmuting yourself, there is an option. If you can see at the bottom of your screen, there is a button called reactions. So you can use that to raise your hand. There is a raise hand option there, if you can see. So you can raise your hand so that I can ask you to unmute, and then you can ask your question. Or you can just show hand. I can also see those who have put their videos on. I can see if they have a question. Okay. Tanisha, you can ask the question now. You can unmute and ask.
Hello, sir. First of all, good evening, and thank you so much for telling us so much about it. My question is like, I have a habit of meditating. Like I try to do third eye meditation. But as I'm saying, like while doing that, वो करने के time पे ना मुझे बहुत सारे thoughts आते रहते, like unnecessary. आपने कहा मोह वाला चीज कि हम अपने बच्चे से, अपनी फैमिली से अटैच होते हैं, बट मुझे वो नहीं, मुझे अलग तरीके के थॉट्स आने लगते हैं.
तो क्या
समझ लीजिए जैसे मैंने कुछ देखा कल, तो मुझे उससे वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं भी होगा, हो सकता है 1 सेकंड के लिए देखा, तो उससे रिलेटेड थॉट्स आने लगते हैं, जिसकी वजह से मैं फोकस नहीं कर पाती।
आप एक काम कर सकते हैं, आप वो थॉट्स लिखना शुरू कर दीजिए कि जो थॉट्स आपके मन में आते हैं ना, जो आप देखती है, जो कुछ आते हैं, उसको लिखना शुरू कर दीजिए. फॉर 1 month you maintain a diary and write down all those distractions which are coming. There may be some common link in that. You will be able to know why those thoughts are coming. That is number one. Okay.
Okay.
And number two, just as Lord Krishna has said, one of the method is yato yato nischarati manaschanchala asthiram tatastato niyam yaita atmani eva vasham nayet. That is what he is told about me. Yato yato nischarati. Do not try to really कंट्रोल द माइंड दैट वे. लेकिन देखो, जिस समय आपको पता चलता है कि अब मन में थॉट्स आने लगे हैं और मैं जो मेरा मेडिटेशन था उससे हट गई हूँ, उसी समय उसको वापस ले आइए. फिर वो चला जाएगा, फिर वापस आइए. यतो यतो निश्चरति मनश्चंचलम अस्थिरम. The very nature of the mind is it is chanchala, it is butterfly mind, it goes. ततस्ततो नियम यैत. वहां से फिर वापस ले आओ on the type of meditation. Atmani eva vasham nayet. So become aware of the distraction. As soon as distraction comes, become aware of it. Bring back the mind without any irritation, without any anxiety that ऐसा कैसा हो रहा है, क्यों मेरे मन में विचार आ रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ सोचो मत. Be aware that it has gone out, bring it back. Again it may go, again bring it back. That is Bhagavad Gita's method of getting established in meditation.
एक और चीज पूछना था, अभी आपने कहा कि जो थॉट्स आते हैं उसको लिख लो, बट अगर मैं लिखूंगी दैट मीन्स आई विल बी थिंकिंग अबाउट इट, तो उस हिसाब से मैं उस चीज को और ज्यादा अट्रैक्ट नहीं करूंगी, अगर जैसे
नहीं,
लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन के हिसाब से
नहीं,
देखते हैं तो?
नहीं, बाद में, उसी समय आपको लिखना नहीं है. बाद में आपको याद करना है कि मेडिटेशन में कौन से चीज आए थे. जब आपका मेडिटेशन हो जाता है, जब आपको फ्री टाइम मिलता है, तो उस समय आपको याद करना है कि कल के मेडिटेशन में कौन से डिस्ट्रैक्टिव थॉट्स मेरे मन में आ गए. And there you will get the link as to why those thoughts are originating. Otherwise, you use Bhagavad Gita's method. Whenever become aware of distraction and immediately come back to the process of meditation. Again, if it goes, again you bring back.
ठीक है सर. सर एक और चीज, लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, ये थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. जैसे कभी कभी जैसे क्या होता है कि कोई नेगेटिव थॉट है, वो मतलब बहुत ज्यादा एकदम मतलब बहुत डीप तरीके से, जैसे नहीं होता, इंटेंसिव हो जाता है कभी कभी कोई थॉट बहुत ज्यादा, तो उस हिसाब से जब वो आता है तो क्या करना चाहिए उस हिसाब से? कभी जैसे लगता है कि जैसे बहुत सारे लोग कहते हैं कि कभी कोई थॉट अगर इंटेंसिव आता है तो इसका मतलब समझ लो वो कुछ इशारा है या कुछ है, बट नेगेटिव थॉट थोड़ी कोई इशारा हो सकता है यूनिवर्स या गॉड की तरफ से.
No, actually it
उस
depends
टाइम पे
upon
क्या
what kind
करना
of thought.
चाहिए?
लेकिन वो प्रतिपक्ष भावना उस समय आप यूज करके देखिए कि जो निगेटिव थॉट आता है ना, यू रिप्लेस इट विथ पॉजिटिव थॉट. प्रतिपक्ष भावना मीन्स रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ निगेटिव थॉट विथ ए पॉजिटिव थॉट.
सर
जो
ट्राई
निगेटिव,
करती हूँ, बट कभी कभी किस सिचुएशन में हो जाते हैं, बट कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा एफर्ट लगता है, तो
हाँ, तो
उस टाइम पे क्या करना चाहिए?
एफर्ट तो करना ही चाहिए. देयर इज नो
अभ्यास.
शॉर्टकट. देयर इज नो शॉर्टकट इन एफर्ट. अपने आप नहीं चला जाएगा वो. यू हैव टू मेक द एफर्ट and you have to replace it by a positive thought.
Like Tanisha, during all the sessions, I've been telling Dirghakala Nairantarya. Abhyasa. That's the only
Yes,
way. Like
yes,
that's what
yes,
Agashe sir is also trying to say, I think. Okay.
I
Thank
will
you,
practice
Tanisha.
more then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
we,
much, sir.
Rashmi and then Sanjay Gadkari.
Yes, good evening, sir. I
Good
want to ask one question is like hearing all the motivational speeches like yours, I feel motivated for some days and then it will go off. So how to maintain that motivation state?
So that is something which comes with practice only. That in, you know, uh, when you feel the importance from your heart, you will not give it up so easily. Whatever your heart accepts, it holds on to it. So that is the effort which you have to do. You have to really, and that also comes with practice. When you start practicing, say, meditation, when you start practicing yoga, when you start getting the benefit, when you start tasting the benefit, then you will not leave it. जब आप उसका रस चखने लगते हैं ना, तो फिर वहां से आप दूर नहीं जाएंगे. तब तक तो आपको प्रयत्न करना पड़ेगा. कि जब तक उसके अच्छे फलों का स्वाद आप चखते नहीं है, तब तक आपको वो वहाँ फिक्स हो जाना थोड़ा कठिन जाता है. बट जब स्वाद आ गया उसका, उसकी टेस्ट आ गई, एंड देन नोबडी नीड टेल यू टू डू दैट. इट विल हैपन फ्रॉम विद इन.
Yes, yes.
तब
Thank
तक
you.
प्रयत्न करना पड़ेगा.
Yes, sure, sure.
Thank you, Rashmi. Sanjay, sir.
गुड इव्हनिंग सर.
गुड इव्हनिंग.
खूप खूप धन्यवाद. तुम्ही खूप चांगली माहिती दिली. सर मला एक विचारायचंय. मी जवळपास गेली 15 वर्ष रोज सकाळी प्राणायाम करतो. म्हणजे मर्यादित स्वरूपाचा अर्धा ते पाऊण तास करतो. पण त्यामध्ये प्रकार जे आहेत ते अनुलोम विलोम, कपालभाती आणि बाह्य आणि थोडंफार भ्रामरी. तर चांगला अनुभव आहे गेले 15 वर्ष. आणि जेव्हा प्राणायाम सकाळी करतो तेव्हा अतिशय चांगलं ध्यान लागतं आणि कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन पण चांगलं होतं. आणि एक म्हणजे तुम्ही जे मग अशी मेन्शन केलं, एक विलक्षण असा चांगला अनुभव मिळतो. पण याच्या बरोबरच एक असं जाणवतं सर की ड्युरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ द डे when you go through a certain stressful situation, maybe in the office, maybe in the social circle, or maybe in the family, तर त्यावेळेला हे सकाळी जे चांगला ध्यानाचा अनुभव घेतलेला असतो किंवा एक मनशांती मिळालेली असते, तर ती कुठेतरी भंग पावते किंवा त्याचं तिथे बेनिफिट हरवते किंवा त्याचं तिथे बेनिफिट होत नाही असं कधी कधी मला जाणवतं. तर त्याच्याकरता काय करायला पाहिजे?
नाही, एक तर असं आहे की तो बेनिफिट होत नाही असं जे तुम्हाला वाटतंय ते बरोबर नाहीये. कारण तसं जर तुम्ही केलं नाही तर ते तणाव संचित होत जातील. इट विल गेट अक्युम्युलेटेड अँड देन इट विल हॅव बिगर ट्रबल. बिकॉज यू आर डुईंग इट डेली, यू आर रिलीजिंग इट ऑल्सो. Not only you are getting it, but you are able to release it also because you are regularly doing your sadhana. Okay, so don't think that you are not getting benefit. Okay, definitely you are getting benefit by not allowing those tensions and stresses to get accumulated.
Right.
That is number one. Number two, which I will suggest is that you practice breath awareness. म्हणजे प्राणायामची तुमची साधना चालू आहे ती चालूच राहू द्या. परंतु in day-to-day life, when you are out, when you are in the office, whenever you have time, just try to feel how you are breathing. Even when there is stress, म्हणजे आता मी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे breathing becomes haphazard, breathing becomes shallow, breathing becomes irregular when you are under tensions and stresses. तर तुम्ही वर्क प्लेस मध्ये सुद्धा whenever possible, come back to your breath, just feel breath, just have some deep breathing and do your work again. So that may probably help. Breath awareness. Breath awareness. श्वासाप्रती सजग होणं. आणि ते कुठेही बसचं आपण वाट बघतोय, क्यू मध्ये उभे होत, इकडचे तिकडचे विचार करण्यापेक्षा सी हाऊ यू आर ब्रीदिंग when you are traveling. Whenever possible, try to feel your breath, become aware of your breath, And by chance, if the breathing has become fast, haphazard, if you come to know about it, have few rounds of deep breathing. And even suppose the meetings in the office, they give you tensions and stresses. आणि एखादी अशी जर मीटिंग असेल की ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की आज जरा टेन्शन आहे, you have deep breathing and then go for the meeting.
हो, ते करतो मी बऱ्याच वेळा.
हा तेच,
त्याचा फायदाही होतो.
हा त्याचा होतोच, फायदा होतोच
हो, त्याचा.
ऍक्च्युअली.
सर, आणखी एक प्रश्न विचारायचा होता की एक प्राणायाम तर म्हणजे तसं बरीच वर्ष करतो, पण आता गेले 6 महिने मी छोट्या प्रमाणामध्ये जलनेती करत आहे. त्याचाही चांगला अनुभव आलाय. तर जलनेतीचं म्हणजे हे कायम करत राहावं का? की
हो, काही हरकत नाही. जलनेती एव्हरी डे ऑल्सो यू कॅन डू. फक्त एवढंच आहे की जलनेती केल्यानंतर न चुकता कपालभाती करायची, बिकॉज द पॅसेज शुड गेट ड्राईड आउट.
हो,
असं नाही ते ओलं राहता कामा नये आतमध्ये, नाहीतर मग सर्दी झाल्यासारखं वाटतं. बिकॉज द नेझल पॅसेज इज झिगझॅग, देर आर क्रेव्हायसेस and some droplets do remain after jalaneti, and then you feel it is heavy and सरदटल्यासारखं. तेव्हा जलनेती केल्यानंतर दोन्ही नाकानी आणि अल्टरनेट नॉस्ट्रिलनी कपालभाती व्यवस्थित करायची.
अनुलोम विलोम शक्यतो मी करतो त्याच्यानंतर. कपालभाती सुद्धा करेल.
कपालभाती करायलाच पाहिजे. जलनेती नंतर कपालभाती इज ए मस्ट टू ड्राय द पॅसेज. You should see that the passage is dried completely and water doesn't remain inside in any way.
खूप खूप धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Okay. I think it's time. Yeah, it is 7:30. So on behalf of all of us and Yogaarthi and Koham School of Yoga, a big thank you to Agashe sir. So thank you very much for gracing this occasion and sharing your thoughts, knowledge with all of us Yogaarthis. And we look forward to again inviting you and hearing you talk on different more aspects of yoga. And thank you all of you for attending this session today. And next month we will announce the session for the next month soon. So feel free to share the information of Yogaarthi with your friends and families so that they can also get benefited. As I said, there's no membership fee for Yogaarthi, so they just need to sign up the form, fill up the form so that we can have a record, because we are going to assign membership IDs also to all of you to keep a track, and so that we can extend some more benefits to you as Yogaarthi members. So thank you so much once again, everyone, and we'll see you the next month.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.